Good afternoon. My name is Danny Tamburrino, President and co-founder of Optimum Accessory Dwelling Units. Great to be with you here today, and thanks for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about some of the guidelines, requirements, and regulations to build an accessory dwelling unit above your garage in Edmonton. And before we get started, I'd like to share a quote with you that I heard from Steve Jobs quite some time ago. And it goes like this: "If you really look closely, most overnight successes took a long time." Now that's pertinent to what we're talking about today, because Optimum ADU, we are not an overnight success, but we've been around for quite some time in the construction industry, and we're really pleased to be doing this video for you about the accessory dwelling units that we like to build. So a stat that I'd like to share with you is that Canada is currently short 1.8 million housing units to match the average per person housing unit of other G7 countries. And if you look at the overall population of Canada itself, we have approximately about 30 million people in the entire country of Canada, and we're 1.8 million suites short. We've got some work to do, and so we're going to get at it today. And before we start talking about these accessory dwelling units, we just want to get out of the way what an accessory dwelling unit really is. And an accessory dwelling unit is simply an additional housing unit placed on an existing single-family residential lot, usually a small backyard home or a basement suite. It could also be a suite above a detached garage. And so some of the things that people might be wondering about is, why would you build one of these accessory dwelling units? Well, there are many different reasons that people are doing this, and the primary reason is for rental income. Most people are looking for ways to supplement their income so they can enjoy more of the finer things in life, and an accessory unit can give them that. Other reasons we've seen is that older people want to upgrade or downsize their current living situation. One way to do this is to build a small backyard home or garage with suite above, and then move in and rent out the existing home. Some families even have young adult children and they need their own space, so they could be either attending college or university, and this gives them a refuge and privacy that is well needed when doing post-secondary studies. Other people are just simply looking for more space, whether it be a home office, music room, or art studio. So all of these reasons are great reasons to be building an accessory dwelling unit. Now you might be wondering, can I build an ADU on any lot or home in the city of Edmonton? And before I answer that question, I need to say this. Anytime you are looking at building something of this magnitude in the city of Edmonton, it is wise to hire a qualified contractor, someone who is specialized in what they do and that they can handle all of the logistics for you. Someone like Optimum ADU. From knowing what the zoning bylaws are right down to the construction of the unit itself to meet the Alberta Building Code. Very important that you get yourself a qualified contractor. And it just so happens that in the last number of years, the City of Edmonton has relaxed their zoning bylaws and requirements considerably, which has made building ADUs a lot less challenging in regards to finding a suitable lot. So to answer the question, you can build an ADU on practically any residential lot in the City of Edmonton. Whether it be a garden suite, detached garage with suite above, or just a regular basement suite, Edmonton is a very viable market with a lot of inventory. So, having mentioned the relaxation of zoning bylaws, I'd like to elaborate on this a little bit. In regards to ADUs, the City of Edmonton has done away with parking restrictions or minimum on-site parking requirements. In June of 2020, City Council voted to enable open option parking citywide. Now, the City of Edmonton has also changed the requirements for the minimum size of a backyard suite. There now is no minimum size, and you can actually build an ADU up to 1,400 square feet in your backyard, and can even include a full cut basement that does not count towards the square footage of the unit itself. This is a huge game changer because you can actually have two separate homes on one city lot. You ultimately can have 3 separate ADUs on one lot and have 3 rental suites covering your mortgage. Now that's efficiency at its finest. And another change that has occurred recently, which has helped us out, is that the City of Edmonton now considers garages with suites above as being permitted use and not discretionary. In the past, if your neighbors were against you building an ADU, they could actually legally prevent you from doing it. They could legally influence development officers into not allowing your suite to be built. But today, it is a permitted use, and which means you have the right to build whatever your unit is, provided your unit meets permitting requirements and Alberta Building Code. And this has been a huge step in the right direction. It allows more freedom to the homeowner and investors alike. So now some of you might be wondering, what is the average cost to build an ADU? That's a loaded question and depends on many different factors. First of all, the difference in cost between a basement suite and a garage with a suite above is considerable. A typical legal basement suite will cost anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000, and a garage with suite above starts roughly at $170,000. Now I know you may ask, okay, well, why such a big difference in the cost? And this is a great question. A basement development takes place in an existing home, whereas a garage with suite above typically starts as a new construction. So that being said, there are other things to consider that can directly affect the cost of your build, such as the square footage of the suite, the number of bathrooms, the size of the kitchen, the quality of the finishing materials. All of these things can contribute to the extra cost. If you're using entry-level finishes, you can save money, but if you're going to go all out on the flooring, kitchen, etc., you will end up paying a bit more money. So you must consider the current condition of the existing home. I know that when building a garage with suite above, you require an upgrade in the existing sewer and water lines to account for the extra capacity, which again is an extra cost. And all of these things will make a difference in the overall cost or your dollar spent. Now, before we go on, I'd like to interject here and say that although overall cost is important and a budget should be adhered to, the cost should not be the deciding factor to be considered when deciding to build your ADU. You should be considering things such as, is this a good investment? Am I going to benefit financially from this? You must see the big picture as a whole, and we here at Optimum ADU are trained in helping you see the big picture. So now you may be wondering, okay, what can you rent one of the suites for? What can you rent a basement suite for? I'm on the fence and I don't know if this makes sense financially. That's what people are saying. But let me start with this. There are some simple factors that dictate the amount of rent you will be able to collect on one of these suites, such as the geographical location and the actual size of the suite. If it's 1 or 2 bedrooms, if it has a den, or if there are any amenities close by. And that being said, the average basement suite rents for approximately $750 to $1,100 per month. Suites above garages can rent from $1,500 to $1,600 per month. And now you might be thinking, well, what if I don't have the money to build one of these suites? How am I going to take advantage of a rental property I can't afford? Well, regardless of your financial situation, if you're borrowing money or not, we have designed a process that will help you understand how this is a good investment for you and your family. At Optimum ADU, we can help you with all of this. We can help you with understanding your current financial situation from doing a monthly budget with you. We can help you by offering financing, and we can also help you to find a suitable and reliable pre-qualified tenant to rent your new ADU. We are prepared to walk you through this journey every step of the way. And this is what sets us apart from all of the other builders or contractors. We at Optimum ADU will help you from A to Z, not only from design and construction, but right down to the occupancy of your new ADU and right down to the signature on the new 1-year lease. So we are very excited to meet our next client who is willing to turn their backyard into dollars. And so thank you once again for joining us. My name is Danny Tamburrino, and we look forward to working with you on your next home improvement project.